my name is Chris Bowers. I'm with Blow Logistics. I'm standing here with Holly Perry. He's going to be assisting me today on showing us how to tie down forklifts from Toyota. So one thing I do want to mention before we start is PPE gear and how important it is to be wearing anytime that you're on a customer's property or on any yard of P&S Logistics if you're working on a load. You got the hard hat, safety glasses, gloves, pants, and of course boots on. So we're going to roll into it now. Just for instructional purposes, you don't have to always open the Conestoga all the way. We only do this for the training today. So that's how we're going to do that. We have different kinds of J-hooks here. These silver ones, of course, are Eagle, and these blue ones are Easts. Each one of them have different working load limits on them. Due to Holly's trailer having different kinds of rails on them, determines which kinds he uses. For example, this silver one, these Eagles, if you look at the rails and how they're shaped, they have to go in right next to these stops here, and the way he pulls keeps the J-hook from sliding. These East J-hooks, the blue ones, go either in between the little stops here on the trailer rails, keeps it from moving with very minimal movement, or goes in the center of these, which again keeps them from moving as well. The reason Holly uses these, of course, is because the way the straps are angled when he does do the tighten down keeps him on top of the trailer, strapping that direction, so if he does slide, he will only fall back onto the trailer, versus if he comes this direction and loses it, he'll come off the trailer.
Here we got a smooth wheel three-wheeler. It's got a wheel back here and a spindle, and it's got the smooth wheels up here. On these, you don't usually tie down. We have permission from Toyota to be able to tie down up here on the forks itself, because these smooth wheels, the strap usually slides off. So what we do, how we do this, we take our strap, our Toyota strap or wheel strap, and we slide it through here to make sure we got protection on the Toyota forklift. I always drop it around and bring it about right there. If you can see that right there. And I slide my wheel strap in. And when I do it, I make sure my hook is trying to be usually right up here towards the front, because when you pull it, it's going to bring it back to where it's tight right there, to where you have no metal touching metal. It's on the protection right there. I lay that down. I take my East J-hook. We have 3 different types. We have an East, a right and hour, and an arrow, which goes to the outside of here. Put my J-hook in a slot right here, or right here, or right here. For this purpose, I'm gonna put it right there for less movement. And then I'm gonna take my ratchet, lay it out like that, bring my ratchet in, slide it in, bring my chain back, and I'm gonna hook my chain to right there. I'm gonna put my J-hook on an angle. Now I'm gonna take my strap, I'm gonna slide it through the hole. I'm gonna pull it back towards the forklift. To where it's like that, and you get a picture of that right there. And then I'm gonna start ratcheting it up. And to get an extra bite, I got this tool right here. It's called the ratchet strap tightening handle. And it gives me a couple more bites where the strap is nice and tight. Then my strap, I pretty much just loop over and lay it down right there like that to where it ain't dangling. And then how I do the rear, I have a strap that runs through. I lay a strap on the deck. I had to run the forklift over the top of it. And I bring the strap back along the back of the forklift through up above the tire, which if you can get over here, you can see a little bit better. And I bring it back, there's a spindle that I put the back of the strap on and go to the other side, do the same thing on the other side. And then I ratchet it down. All right, this is a Raymond three-wheeler. It's the same setup as the one up there, except that's Toyota lift. This is a Raymond lift. On these, we actually put the straps on the tires because they're rubberized tires. They're not smooth tires. So we run these on the tires like the bigger forklifts we do there. But the only difference is that this has got a three-wheeler in the back. think of a pitman arm like this with a wheel on each side, and this rotates. This is what works for the steering. All right, on these, you can run a strap underneath, above the tire here, and there's where that pitman arm is right there. You run it back, and you run it back down on a slight angle to either side of the trailer. Make sure you put padding there where it doesn't damage the paint. So how I got this here, you can see where my strap is, my padding. And you can see where the strap goes over the tire, above the tire, and on the pitman arm. What I do, I put a piece of padding in here like this to protect it from the paint, to protect the paint from getting damaged. And then I run my strap the same way I did as the other one, my hook. Make sure this stays up and nice and tight, and this one run up on an angle, like that. And I tighten it back up. One, two. And that is how you do a three-wheeler on the back side of the three-wheeler and the front side when it's got rubberized wheels. Now when I put this on, I've got the mention on the other ones. You always make sure your strap is through your loop, like that. And obviously, however you want to do it, you can do either way. Now, if you do it this way, where the strap is to the inside, you're pulling, you got to tighten up this way, back behind me. But since I pull to the middle, my loop is always to the front of the trailer. Always to the front of the trailer, except usually on the very first one. The very first one up in the very front, it's usually towards the back of the trailer. Towards the front, it goes towards the back of the trailer. And I try to get my straps where they're perpendicular to the deck, right across the hub right here. And then I use these hooks. I'll put this hook in hand, slide it up, and lock it in. I take my chain, the same thing I do on the other ones, I come back and hook it up. Then what I try to do is get my strap to where it's flat to the deck, like this. Again, and I'll slide it through here. And I'll take this, and I'll lay that down to where it locks in. You can see right here where it's locked in. And I just tighten it up. And again, I'll grab my ratchet tightener. 1, 2. I'll lock that in place. I'll do the same for the back. Lay my strap down. I got my strap the same way I got the front one. Got the rear wheel the same exact way. Make sure my eagle hook is tight against my stop. Pull it tight. That's how you tighten down a four-wheeler. On how we do these motorized forklifts, which are battery powered, they're smaller forklifts. You got this one happens to be called a stand-on forklift because you stand on the very back of it to maneuver it around. The way you got to walk with it. And how we strap these down, we throw one strap, wheel strap, 2-inch strap, or 4-inch strap from one side of the trailer to the other, just over the forks. Do the same setup on how you hook up your ratchet binders as you do the forklifts. You run your strap through like this. I'm putting protection down, but normally you don't have to because you got cardboard. But if it's bare metal, you always want to put protection down to protect the paint of the forklifts, of the forks themselves. And all you do is just tighten them down, and then you're good to go. That's all it needs on these walk behinds and the battery operated forklifts. All you need is one strap across the forks themselves.